Are you doing this now?
No, I'm not doing anything. I was just saying there wasn't really a reason, so it's just I was shocked.
Yeah, we haven't even had a talk in 2 years.
I know that.
Yeah.
And then it was just the only person I want to couple up with right now.
Out of everyone, you're the one I wanted to couple up with.
I remember saying the producers need to do something because the episode was boring, and they said, ask and we shall deliver. And boy, did they deliver. Boy, did they deliver. They are messy. To bring in Kaz's ex, it's going to be drama. It's going to be drama, and I can't wait for it. I think that was the most interesting part of this episode, actually. Anyway, I digress. Hey there, thanks for stopping by. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island UK All Stars Season 1, Episode 7. I'm going to say this until the very end, but looking at these people, they make it seem as though this is their first time on Love Island when they've been on Love Island before, and this is their second, third time. Anyway, Mitch is in trouble because of, he told Demi she was his number one, and then he told, Liberty she was his number one. And it's like, please, did you people not watch his season? I always keep saying this. Did you not watch his season and how he moved? Why pretend to be surprised when he's being messy? That is who he is. Anyway, Kaz pulls him for a chat because I remember at the time when he was telling Kaz that Lewis and Demi kissed, saying that I think he's doing this not to protect Kaz, but because he wants Demi to pick him, because Demi was his number one. And so for Kaz to ask him, did you tell me because you were after what was best for me, or were you trying to make sure that Lewis was taken? That way you could have your way with Demi. And he sort of and then, Liberty came and started screaming and crying, and Demi came, and it's like, allow him to speak, allow him to express himself. He's asked, okay, so if you were the one picking, who would you have picked? And he told this truth that I don't know. He was still confused. He didn't know. If he had a chance, he would have picked Demi, and that's the truth. But he couldn't say that because then he would hurt somebody's feelings. And then you have Liberty crying, and it's like, why are you crying? You felt this guy more than he felt you. Why haven't you learned your lesson? I've only seen her in Love Island games, and I've seen her in this. And it's like, why can't you learn your lesson? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And so for her to sit there and allow these guys to play her and then cry and be a victim, I don't get it. I really don't. I don't have any sympathy for her because she did this to herself. She knew Mitch wasn't feeling her that way, but she wanted him to feel her that way. And when he didn't, oh my God, why did he do it? And then you have Josh go for a chat with Molly. And so Molly is just right to say to him, if you want to have a conversation with me, I'm open, but I need you to have a conversation with Georgia H and tell her what's happening. And so that was good. I think because of her situation with Callum, she just wants things aired out. She doesn't want anything, behind closed curtains. And so he then owns up that he will have a conversation with Callum as well, just to let him know, because that way it won't be awkward. And she's happy with that. So they immediately go downstairs. And then, Molly pulls, instead of allowing him time to pull Georgia H, Molly immediately pulls Georgia H for a chat. Oh, I just want you to know this is what's happening. And it's like, if you've demanded this of him, why then are you doing it for him? Why not allow him to do it? This is the problem you're having with Callum, in the sense that you say you want certain things, but then you don't allow the person to do the things that you want. Or if they do them, you don't acknowledge it. So at that point, you had Josh woke up as well, and Georgia H was feeling some type of way, so she said, okay, let's just sit down, the three of us, and discuss it. And you could tell Molly was uncomfortable. I think I said this before, that the girls are being very territorial. I think Georgia H, because she knew Josh, she thought they could play the game together. She thought they already had a history. That was her person. They could ride it till the end. And so for him to suddenly turn on her after they were making out on the daybeds, she's so confused and she doesn't know where to go. So I don't know how she's going to sort that out. You then have, Josh go from there to call Callum to come across. And before Callum even sits down, he's already started talking, and are you doing it because it's out of respect, or are you doing it just for the formalities so that it can be said that, you told him that you want to explore connection with Molly? Callum on his part is very distant and seems so uninterested. And it's like, has he lost interest because she is not putting in any effort? Or has he lost interest because he feels the boat has sailed on their relationship? I don't know. And I don't even know what Lewis was doing there. I have no idea what he was doing there as well. Whether he was there just to mediate, just in case things fell apart, I don't know. But I prefer this situation as compared to what Chris did, whereby he just pulled Molly upstairs, snogged her, and then came downstairs and then waited a couple of days before telling Callum. So I respect the fact that this is what Josh did, even though this is what Molly asked him to do. So that's one thing. Liberty crying still doesn't make sense. Her sitting there and crying and then walking into the bedroom and saying, I'm over it. And it's like, you're over what? You knew who you were dealing with, but you decided not to see him for how he presented himself and decided to see him for how you wanted him to present himself. So that's not Mitch's fault. That's your fault. You made that bed. You have to lay in it. Georgia H decided to sleep outside. Why? I don't get it. It's not that big a deal. It's not that big a deal. She made out with him. That's it. What I think is the reason why she slept out. Well, I think the reason why she slept outside is because her ego is bruised. Because she played with Anton and then had someone do exactly the same thing to her that she did to Anton. And so her ego can't handle that. And so she doesn't know how to process that. And even though she's putting on a brave face, I think she's very heartbroken and she's very upset. That's the reason why. And to have Josh and Toby sort of say, you know, we say we're open. And if the girls explore connections, that's fine. But if we as boys try to do it, then it's a problem. And it's like, yeah, what do you expect, Sherlock Holmes? What do you expect? All the islanders go to sleep. So in the morning, I don't get the debriefs. I really don't. They get on my last nerve. The main topics were Molly talking about Callum and how she feels he's moving on now that Georgia has, you know, paid him attention. And it's like, maybe he is the one who's pursued Georgia. Why do you make it seem as though Georgia's come to pull him when he is a grown man? He could have, you know, asked her for a chat. So don't make it seem like Georgia's laying it on him thick and he's just sitting there and just watching and then he's falling into her trap. And also you had the conversation about Mitch being told that you shouldn't, you know, rate the girls, that you're my number one, you're my number two. That just makes sense. That's just common sense. I don't know whether Mitch has actually understood what he was being told or whether he's learned anything from that. Mitch will always be Mitch. He'll always be messy. And so I don't know. Liberty is crying that people don't always understand her and they don't always appreciate her. And it's like, oh my God, this is the same old, same old. This is why I hate debriefs. Josh talks about his situation with Georgia H, the fact that they're split, and he's wanting to explore a connection with Molly. And it's like, oh my God, Callum is talking about his situation with Molly. And I don't even know why we continue to have these debriefings, because it's the same old thing. And then Chris has this flirt session with Arabella. I don't know why she's even giving him the chance. I don't know why. I don't know whether it's because she doesn't want to involve herself in the drama that's going on in the villa and she knows Chris is the only one who's single. Otherwise, I'm surprised she still hasn't got the ick from him, because his jokes are not landing. Maybe it's just me, but they're not landing as far as I'm concerned. And then you have people on the day beds. And it's like, it doesn't make sense, because on one day bed, you have Demi, Lois, and Georgia S. On the other one, you have Callum and you have Toby. And it's like, why are we having this conversation of asking each other, you know, our resolutions for this year when somebody's ex is right beside you? That's very awkward. I don't know why they did that. I have to give credit where credit is due, because while Georgia S was busy telling Callum in front of everyone on the daybeds that, you know, my resolution is to find someone and to be in a relationship, and no matter the highs or the lows, I'm going to stick to it and I'm going to be very committed. She almost came out with, I'm going to be very loyal, but then she sort of took herself back, I think, because she didn't want to say that again. And for Toby to just lay there and just smile and not say anything was interesting. You have, you know, Mitch go for a chat with Arabella, and it's like, I think Arabella is just humoring Mitch. I think she knows who Messy Mitch is, and given what's happened with Liberty, I don't think she wants to put herself in the middle of that, because she knows that he's desperate and he's looking for someone to be in a romantic connection with. So I don't see it going any further. The fact that he's been told don't rate girls and then he tells her that you're my number two doesn't make sense to me, but hey, it is what it is. You have Molly have a conversation with Josh, and it's like, I don't think Molly's feeling anyone. I think Molly came to the show thinking that this was her chance of getting back together with Callum. And sadly, instead of putting in the effort or showing Callum that she's still interested in him, she decided to sit and wait for him to do all the grafting. And he wasn't willing to do that. And so now she's crying, oh, somebody else has paid him attention and he's moved on. But, if he was serious about me, he wouldn't be moving on. And it's like, you've kissed Chris. You've gone up to the terrace with Josh. What more why should he sit there and pine away and wait for you to do what you want? If you're going to go with other people, he's going to do the same. And sadly, that's the name of the game and you have to deal with it. You have Anton. Anton is really laying it thick on Georgia H. And I think Georgia H is just eating it up because she has no one else to sort of pay her attention. The fact that Anton is talking about, we want to explore romantically to see what's there and see how far we can go with it. And it's like, okay. Hopefully she doesn't break your heart, but I see her doing that. And then Toby has this conversation with Arabella. Toby and Arabella, I think there's more to that relationship. The fact that they're telling each other that, had we spoken for more than a few seconds, if we had spoken as long as we've spoken in the villa, in the outside world, would be dating by now. And it's like, what risk does Toby have that is having this lady, grown as she is, eating out of the palm of his hand? He doesn't really have to do much talking. He doesn't really have to do anything because whatever he says, he's just going to eat it up. And it's really sad that other people are sort of, bending over backwards, trying to sort of attract her when she is smitten by Toby. And it's sad that Toby had someone who really liked him and he is about to lose that because he's decided he wants to be the playboy of the villa because of Josh. Hey, it is what it is. It's interesting that I thought the girls were being very territorial and now the guys are doing the same because they're sort of trying to give each other a heads up like, I'm interested in your girl. Like the fact that Callum was telling Toby that it's time to steal your ex or something like that. And Toby is sort of pretending like he's not fazed, but I think Toby still has feelings for Georgia S and is hoping that whatever she's doing doesn't work and she comes back to him. As much as he is enjoying flirting with Arabella, I think he still prefers Georgia S. The fact that he's going on about, I could have done this in the real world, I don't think so. They left as a couple Love Island Games and I think they were still dating up until they came into the villa. And then he decided, we can't continue to be like this. Let's sort of try something new. And in trying something new, it seems Georgia S has found a connection with Callum and poor Toby is in for a rude awakening. And then you have Josh trying to wind Anton up and it's like, why would he do that? The fact that he's telling him that, I was, when I spoke to Georgia H, she said I was her main priority. So for her to suddenly come back to you, I think you were second best. And it's like, why would you say that? I like that Anton didn't, feed into that monster. Instead, he just ignored it and just kept it moving. So it's going to be interesting to see how, they're able to navigate their connection, especially Anton and Georgia H. Because after the drinks, he has a conversation with Georgia H and tells her that this is what Josh was saying. You can tell that Georgia H likes Anton as a friend, and I don't know whether she's open to exploring a connection because it's convenient or whether she has any feelings for him, but I like the fact that she didn't throw a tantrum and start screaming and shouting across the villa, which was good. Callum and Georgia S were talking and you could see Toby was throwing a bit of, I don't know whether it's the editing or whatever, but I think Toby is having buyer's remorse. I think he is, because it seems Callum and Georgia S are really getting along and everyone in the villa can see that. So it's going to be sad for Molly and Toby if this connection grows and if these two people actually become serious and closed off, which it's starting to look like that. And so I feel sorry for them. Anyway, Maya Jama arrives and everyone has to gather around the fire pit. I guess I asked for it and the producer said, here you go, because you now have, they're standing by the fire pit with Arabella about to pick, and Maya Jama sort of says that there is another bombshell that's coming in before Arabella gets to pick. And everyone is sort of questioning who's coming in. And I am nervous for my girl. I'm nervous for my girl because I don't want Kaz to go home. And I've been nervous since, Demi decided she wanted to pursue something with Lewis. And so for them to bring Kaz's ex, the producers are messy, with a capital messy, because he is good looking. Even Kaz's jaw drops to the floor. I think one, she's surprised he's there, and two, she can see that he's still very good looking. And so I didn't like the way Demi was ogling him, the way that she looked like she was going to be interested in him. And it's like, you already took Lewis. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. Why is it you have to want everything that, Kaz has? So, everybody's surprised. You have Liberty trying to check on her girl to make sure her girl is fine. And it's like, I am just happy that someone is there that will keep Kaz in the fella, because at the end of the day, I want Kaz to stay till the finale. So if it's going to be Tyler, then yippee. You have Arabella be given the chance to pick. I am surprised with who she picked. I'm going to assume that she didn't want any sort of drama in regards the Toby situation, whereby Toby's in a couple with Georgia S and they're struggling, and Toby is, trying to see where he goes. I think Toby was disappointed. I think he was hoping Arabella would pick him. Whether or not he wanted her to pick him because he's really interested in her, or whether he was just doing it because he wants a break from Georgia S, or because Georgia S is exploring something and is worried that he might not be safe, I really don't know why. Chris being picked, it's strategic, in my opinion. It's strategic. She said it's got an endearing quality. Unless it's something we're not seeing, I personally think it's gameplay, and I think she's being strategic in the sense that she wants someone who's most likely to keep her in the villa. I think Mitch was shocked because Mitch might have expected himself to be picked, but there's no way she was going to pick him given how Liberty behaved the night before. So chances are he's going to stay in a couple with Liberty for forever. So when it's Tyler's turn, he picks Kaz. Am I surprised? No. Am I happy that he did? Yes, because I said I want Kaz to stay on the show. But the fact that he just said the person I want to couple with in this moment in time is Kaz. He didn't give any reasons. He could have given some sort of reason. The person I want to couple up with is someone I have known before. I know we dated and we broke up, but I feel like there are conversations that we need to have, and to sort of gain some clarity in regards where we stand, whether there is a possibility we could rekindle something, or whether it's done and it's time for us to move on. I think he should have said that. So I get why Kaz felt some type of way, because his explanation didn't sort of make sense. And it's the fact that they were arguing like mom and dad. It's like, you've barely seen each other in years, and the first time you see each other, you're already having a go. It took Maya Jama explaining that, Kaz feels some type of way because you didn't give a justifiable reason as to why you were picking her. You just said the person you feel you want to couple up with right now, and then you named her. At least you should have given a reason why. Is it because you feel safer with her? Is it because you feel you have a history and you want to build on that history? I think he should have elaborated more, and Maya was right to sort of correct him and explain what's going on. So they've coupled up. So they are another couple, the second couple of the night. So because of the two recouplings, that leaves Lewis and Demi single. And I think in their minds, they thought they were going to get the opportunity to couple up. And sadly, they're told they've been dumped out of the villa. Am I surprised? No. I think there was more to that dumping than we were told. I think it was so sudden. I think there might have been a lot of backlash. This is why the producers felt they needed to take them out. Sadly, I haven't been on Twitter because I've been working, so I don't know what people are saying. I don't know what the latest is. But you could tell that something wasn't right. Something wasn't right with that, eviction. And for people to start being upset, I am happy Demi's gone. I was tired of her fake nice. I couldn't take any more of it. So I'm happy that she's gone. Lewis, yeah, I feel sorry for Lewis. I think Lewis is just a victim of circumstances, in the sense that he sort of was aligned to her and so had to go, and maybe because of the backlash from people complaining about his relationships in the real world, I think maybe that's why the producers decided to send him home as well. They have a sit down with Maya Jama, and I'm happy that Maya Jama asked Demi the questions that needed to be asked, because it was important to get clarity as to why Demi, after kissing Lois, decided not to tell Kaz what had happened, because that could have changed who Kaz chose at recoupling. And for her to say, I wanted to process it, I didn't get time, there wasn't any time. And Maya said to her, but you sat next to them after the kiss, you could have told them then. And so I am happy that she sort of tried to sort of show her that people are not as silly as you think they are. And for Demi to continue to that, she gets on my last nerve. I didn't like her and I'm happy she's gone. Louis was asked about his Mitch situation and I'm happy he was honest about that. The fact that, Louis says he sees something in the real world with Demi. I think Demi just wanted Louis just because he was the shiny thing and she was going to go for anything that maybe sort of Kaz seemed to like. And I think had she stayed in the villa while Tyler was there, she was going to go after Tyler because of the way her eyes opened up and how she was sort of ogling him as soon as he came in. So I don't know. We'll see how that plays out. I can't wait for the next episode. Thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, and click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 6. Bye guys.